Before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Welcome to part 2 of the Thetacon 22 recap with LT flying. Take it away, LT.
Well, as we were speaking about D-Guard and the team, besides meeting D-Guard, I got to meet many other people on the team. And you know, there's no. They're very accessible. The person one of the people I got to speak to and really was impressed by was the person that goes as Kripfelt, and he's the one that writes the Medium articles and puts them out there. I thanked him for doing all those screenshots and putting in all those step-by-step instructions so we could know how to set up our MetaMask wallet or import a token or do all the things that he has helped make happen, because he made the instructions clear and understandable.
And his name is Ben.
Ben, yes.
And you said he's not originally from the U.S. He's from
Ireland.
Ireland. So
yeah. So, but he's been in the U.S. for quite some time, and then several other members of the team I got to also talk with, spend time with, and I thought that was, and they all, any question you wanted to ask them, they were very forthcoming with whatever they could shed on their projects that they're working on. So that was they had the coolest display set up. They had the VR goggles. You could go in and experience the G World concept and what they're putting together, what it's going to look like. You could build your G Twin. However, this is a scaled down version of the G Twin. They have many more features that they're going to add to it. But you could build a G Twin that is not yet portable into other metaverses and that kind of thing, but you can see the concept. It's a proof of concept, really, is what they had. So that was pretty cool, and you could play their game. They had a car rover kind of game. It looked like it might be like the moon rover that would went around collecting crystals, and if you collected the most crystals in your given period of time, you could win a prize.
And this was G World?
This was G World, yes. They so they had proof of concept things out there, but they weren't able to say, here, surprise, this is ready.
Yeah. Well, software development takes time. It takes a lot of time. I did 35 years as a software developer, and we had a saying about we loved how deadlines go wishing by.
Right.
It's like it rarely ever goes according to plan. You do the best you can with the information you have to create an estimate, and then someone once told me, if you think it's going to take 500 hours of man efforts, and multiply that times 4, and you're probably closer to what it's really going to take. So
yeah, that's that's true in all things, not just software development. In aviation, you take an airplane into the shop, they give you a cost estimate and a time estimate on when it's going to be ready to go, and you just know that that's the best case, right?
Yeah.
It's probably going to cost more and take longer than what they're telling you, and that's just the way it is. So I work with that. But what we did get to see being at Thetacon is there are real people. They are working on real projects and doing real things. I do believe we're going to see the GTX wallet and the browser come out from G World here in short order. I think that'll be the next thing that comes out and usable. How that's going to drive T-bill use case or adoption, I don't know. Is that going to affect the LP and cause it to go up? I don't know. There's so much unknown that right now to be putting money into any project is going to be, risky, if we would say. However, I'm staying with it, staying in it. I'm in the LP. I'm going to continue in the LP. Know it might melt down more and more, but at some point, I believe it's going to turn around and go right back up.
Well, we're coming up on a year
right
of the LP, and they haven't missed a single payment every day.
Every day.
6 o'clock my time.
It's not as much today as it was last February, but
but
that they're making them, and that they've launched a couple of things, the Burn 50 or the 50, and then they announced that they will be coming out with the 50 Monday and Wednesday. So that's going to have some variances to it that's different from the Friday burn. So those interesting concepts that they're working on right now. I think they'll have that out real soon as well, and the GTX wallet and browser out real soon. So
who else did you get to see down there? Did you? We didn't think Big Dog was going to be there, but based on his video this morning, he was there.
He was there. He must have been in disguise or something, or laying low. I didn't run into him, and it wasn't that big a place. It could be I bumped into him and I didn't know it was him.
Didn't you say you saw Jay Snip passing?
I saw Jay Snip there, and I saw people were over talking with Jay Snip. That was one of the questions that you start a conversation starter. Anytime I came up to somebody, I'd say hello and that kind of thing, and introduce yourselves, and then I would generally ask the question, well, how'd you get started in Theta? How'd you learn about Theta? And most of the people were like me. Well, I heard about it from Bix. Heard it on Bix Weir. And there was a few that said, well, I heard it on Jay Snip's show whenever he was talking with Michelle White Duck.
Yeah, so, that's where I heard about it.
Right. So Jay Snip and and Bix were both big promoters of Theta early on. I think a lot of people got in because of those guys.
Yeah, I know. I went and bought my first Theta when it was still on the Ethereum network.
Right.
And so T-Fuel didn't exist, just the Theta token. And I was in it before they launched the mainnet.
Right.
And Michelle White Dove, and her prediction for it, I didn't buy into it because of that. That just put Theta on my radar, and I went and researched it. And you know what? They're solving a real-world problem, and the way they're going about doing it is, realistic and doable. So I bought some.
Right.
And I've just been adding to my bag ever since.
There you go. So that's, and I've been doing the same. I've just about once a week I go in and add new funds into the Theta project, and I've been using Binance here recently to buy directly with fiat dollars to get Theta and T-Fuel. Every day I take a portion of my earnings from the LP and diversify that into Bullet and T-Drop.
Yeah, I've been doing the same.
Right. So there's different projects out there. I've been trying to just do a dollar cost average into them. Sometimes I go and buy some NFTs. So that's maybe a conversation we can have, and maybe for the next episode if you want to do something. So
okay, I'm gonna wrap up part 2 and be looking for part 3 to be released tomorrow, where we'll continue the discussion.